Hi everyone, happy Friday wherever you are. Today's personal power video is about the power that you have within you through the words that you use and the thoughts that you think. The reason I came onto this topic is because I'm taking a yoga teacher's training and we have to study the yoga philosophy, which is the origin of yoga tradition. And one of the principles that we understand from it is the mental discipline that involves having the study of self and the study of sacred scriptures or holy texts. And when you focus only on the notion of studying yourself, it reminds me and it reminds all of us that it's so important and critical to get to know who you are, to get to understand yourself and to really know yourself on deep and profound levels. And indeed, we really should know ourselves more than anyone else in our life can know us. And it's really valuable and very beneficial to take the time out in our lives to understand what are our motivations, what are our thoughts, what are our habits of thoughts, and what are our physical habits on a daily basis. And the reason that I want to highlight this notion is because the way that we are on the inside determines the way that we see the world. And this in turn determines the way that we live life and the way we experience life. So that the way that you think, the way that you are, is what determines your life experience and your quality of life. Because nothing has a meaning outside of you except for the meaning that you give it. So the way that you see things is entirely determined by the definition that you give any situation, any person, any circumstance, any occurrence. That only has a meaning because you choose to give it a meaning, and it's the meaning that you ascribe to that thing, whatever it is. And so I want to share this message because as we get to know ourselves, when we take the time out to know what's really going on the inside of us, in our minds and our hearts and our energy, we then understand why we have the relationships that we have. We then know if there are any blockages, any mental blockages or patterns of self-sabotage, or any limiting beliefs and limiting thoughts and limiting behaviors, because these are patterns and habits that we establish unconsciously, unknowingly, and that remain rooted over time. And so it's really valuable for each one of us to take the time out in life to get to study ourselves, to understand how the mind works, to understand how your mind works and how you view things and how you view life. And one of the notions that this, or one of the ideas that this immediately brings to mind is the way we see the world is through the thoughts that we think and the words that we use, the language that we use. These are things that powerfully shape our universe. And then, of course, the actions that we take. Before any action, there's a thought, there's an idea, there is an assumption. So my message to you and my suggestion or my invitation to you is to ask yourself in the days to come, now that you've heard this, is to reflect on how you view the world. How do you look at other people? How do you evaluate their intentions? Do you make assumptions on other people's intentions or their behaviors? Do you assume the worst in most cases? Or do you give people the benefit of the doubt? Do you jump to conclusions when something happens? Or do you allow for things to unfold and then you see how the reality is? Because one of the tendencies is for us to make assumptions on other people and what's probably going to happen, or I'm assuming this, or we impose or we impart our own experience, we project our own experiences on other people and other situations, when in reality, we don't know at all what is going on in someone else's head. We have no idea. And when we assume, we don't tend to assume the best of others, but we assume to err on the side of caution in case something goes wrong. This is just what I've noticed from friends and clients, and from my own nature, which I've worked with over time. So that is the main message for now, is to take some time out of your daily life to get to know yourself on a deeper level, maybe through journaling or just observing your thoughts, bringing more awareness into your experience daily. And meditation is another tool, which I made another video on, that will absolutely enhance your relationship with yourself and will help you to get to know yourself on a deeper level. And what is the ultimate result, or for what reason do we want this? It's so that we can feel more happy in our life by feeling a greater sense of understanding of who we are and what's really going on. That things are not as negative as we used to think, that actually we don't know a lot of things, and that we can choose to trust and have faith and to go with the flow of life, and most importantly, to manage our own behavior and our own thoughts and our own words, and then our own actions, because then the power is truly in your hands to affect change in your life where it really matters, within yourself, and then everything around you will reflect the positive changes that you make internally. So that's it for now. I will see you next time, and I look forward to connecting with you on more and more deeper levels. Take care. Bye.